because I want to walk with Elias.
Hey, what's good, everyone? It's your boy Elias over here at Pleading the Sith. I'm the host of Plead the Sith over here at the Sweep the League TV network. How's it going, everyone? Thank you all for joining us, taking time out of your day. Join us this Saturday. So, for today's guest, I have the main man over at the Alamo City Podcast Network, one half of the Area 210 podcast. We got my boy, the GOAT, Joe Garcia. Welcome to the room, brother.
Hey, thanks for having me, man. Glad to be on the show.
Hey, bro.
Congratulations on kicking off your new podcast here.
Oh, appreciate it, bro. Couldn't have done it without, y'all's support. You gave me my first legs, and I'm slowly learning.
Yeah,
How was
you
your how
kept
was your
it on.
yeah, how was your 4th of July, bro? Before we get to the hot stuff.
Yeah, no, it was good. I was just hanging out here and just laying low, trying to stay out of all the rain and whatnot. The thoughts and prayers. Shout out to the people over in Kerrville, man. Hopefully they find everybody that they're looking for. And they're still with us, man, because that's a tragedy that's been going on over there. I woke up on 4th of July and saw everything that was happening. So been thinking about it. It's been heavy on my mind, especially if you got kids.
Yeah, man, it's you know prayers to those all affected by it. I see them reaching, asking for helicopters, boats, anything to help find the missing, the people, just the residents of the city. So prayers out to them. Um, yeah, Joe, let's get it started, bro.
Yeah, let's get it started. What do you want to ask?
Alrighty.
What do you want to ask me?
Oh, I have a lot to ask you, but let's start
What do
off
you
by
want to ask me?
saying, all right, so you're one half of the Area 210 podcast, one of the best
Yeah,
shows out there. What y'all stream Monday to Friday, um, consistently when your co-host tends to show up. What
yeah. He shows up to work.
what are your thoughts on your co-host getting you in trouble lately more than he has been affecting the show positively? Mike seems to be on some bullshit lately. We love the guy, but how do you feel about Mike when he puts you in those shitty scenarios, brother?
Well, here's the thing with Mike. Mike is going to be Mike, right? And just like Mike was like, "Hey, we want to be, of a certain caliber of show. We don't want to be censoring people." Well, that goes for him too. I'm letting him be himself. He needs to let me be myself, and at least let the guests be themselves as well. We can't censor people, and in a better term, you can't do that. You got to let people be who they are, and you got to let them speak. And you're giving them a platform. You got to let them go ahead and have the freedom to talk. I mean, isn't that what our great country was built on? Freedom of speech. So
Exactly.
even though Mike might put his foot and insert it in his ass, once in a while, it is what it is. You get every one of us, whether we are I'm a co-host, host, even the guests from time to time do these types of things. But at the end of the day, you got to let people be who they are. And I think that's one thing that Mike has to understand as well. We can't censor people, so to speak. But good things have come out of situations. You get to talk about things and learn how to go ahead and move forward and have a better understanding of what's expected from the show moving forward. One of the good things that we have is we got a new sponsor. We're going to have another sponsor coming out of this as well, so we have that to look forward to. And I see my boy Lehan here, always supporting Lehan, what he's doing. Of course I'll still be sporting my MCS general contracting hat on the show too. It's nothing but love. Even for our good friend over here, JC with Special Leafs, nothing but love. I got nothing but love for all the people who have been there for us from day one. Never forget them, and always going to go ahead and support anything they do.
No, man, that's love. Yeah, once again, shout out to the sponsor of the show, MTS General Contracting. This chat is powered through them. And yeah, man, Mike is something else, bro. But I'll tell you something. In the real world, he's one of the most down to earth type of people, bro.
Yeah.
I've met him a handful of times, and he just has to stop calling me son in person. It's funny in the comments, but when you're calling me son in front of my wife, it's kind of like, Mike, I don't know if she gets why you call me that. I don't want her thinking I call you daddy or something on the side. Mas puto.
Mario Cavasso in the chat already
Yeah.
already cooking. Look, Joe and I are good. That's what Leha's saying. Yeah, we're always good. Me and Leha are always good.
So Mario Cavasso says, I'm brown and proud. Estevato likes Lululemon. Chale. He's hey, they don't call him the
Pinche
coconut for
Lulu.
no reason, but
El Coco.
yeah, El Coco. Mike will have his time to rebuttal and whatnot. I invited him on to plead the Sith. He says, let him know on a date, and y'all want to roast him in the chat. He's more than welcome. Y'all are more than welcome to. Just know he's gonna have
Yeah.
a chance to rebuttal.
It's
So
like this, Elias. I'll let you all know something. It's good that you don't always agree with your host, or you never know what your host is going to do on any given day, because it's good to have that banter going back and forth. If everybody agreed with what the other person said, the show would be boring as fuck.
for sure.
No lies. If you're trying to agree with what everybody is saying and you don't want to ruffle feathers and you don't want to go against the grain, your show's going to be boring as shit. Nobody's going to watch it because you're just going to be like everybody else. And I think that's the one thing that we kind of put our staple on, is that we are a little bit different because we just say what we want, at any given time. That's the beauty of not being censored, right? Being able to
Exactly.
speak your mind.
That is why my show is being promoted at NSFW. Just so y'all know, if you have your kids and all that listening to it, well, by all means, Uncle Elias is going to teach y'all a few cuss words here and then. Not because I'm trying to stand out, right? But that's just my everyday speech.
Because
My
that's how
wife,
real humans talk.
Joe, you've met me in person. How many f bombs do I drop in a
Oh
sentence,
yeah, I
bro?
mean, bro, that's the way we always talk. Isn't that way adults talk? That's why we are who we are. That's the way real people talk in the real world, just like the Pat McAfee show's always saying, right? That's who we are. That's how people talk. You go and you talk, right? You're gonna talk shit, and you go to a bar and you're there with your boys. What are you gonna be saying? Oh no, don't say the F word. Don't say that. I'm appalled. No, bro. They're gonna tell you, get the hell out of here, man. You
It's
know?
just, como dice, how they say in Spanish, Joe, amárrate en los huevos. You're a grown up.
Oh,
Say what you're
baby.
gonna
No
say.
mames, bro.
Man, it's funny because just like you have Mike on your side, also have a show with Matt Lerma, and our
Oh
personalities,
my god, bro.
our personalities differ a lot, bro. Catch us on Two Foods, One Recap, or No Sources. We renamed it.
I think it should just be one fool, one podcast.
I booted. You want me to boot him already?
No, no, he's the only fool. You're not a fool.
Oh, I get you, man. But those first couple of episodes were funny. He's like, "Hey, try
Yeah.
not to cuss, try not to." I was like, "Matt, you ain't my daddy, bro. We gonna make this work. We're gonna just riff." And bro, it's
No,
good.
but este Coco también. He's Coco también.
No, that's what I was gonna say. It's good to see him coming out of his shell. But man, he's getting ballsy, Joe. And the fact that he called you out the other day had me rolling. What are your thoughts on like these Spurs simps, as they like to say,
The
and
simps.
the Spurs dick writers and the front office apologists, bro. I'm Matt. Don't be mad, bro. I'm gonna have you on here too. But that's kind of what you've been like. Like you're a super positive Spurs fan. By all means, it's welcome, but don't be fake about it. Joe, he tried to censor you. Telling you don't support the team, this and that. What are your thoughts on all that? What are your thoughts on people
Oh,
calling you out
Matt.
for your fandom?
Oh, they just mad. They mad because they can't be like us. They want to say shit, but what happens behind closed doors and a private chat? It's a different story. But when you're out there for the masses, you're beating your chest and you're trying to join them. Just be different, dude. You don't have to go and call people out just because you want to make a name for yourself. Just be who you are. Speak your mind. That's what's going to make you different. That's what a lot of people, I think, don't understand when they're trying to go ahead and make a name for themselves. They're trying to, let's say get some clout. They're clout chasing.
Clout
They want to go
chasing.
ahead and be out there and be popular amongst the X, amongst, the social media profiles that they have out there. They're trying to start a podcast, trying to start a live stream. Let me go ahead and shit on other people to go ahead and make myself more well known because I'm going to go ahead and be that guy. I'm going to be vocal. This is who I am. No, because when we break bread together, you totally different. You cool as shit. But, when you want to be out there and you want your persona to spin, you want to spin that, you want to act a different way. No, stand on business. That's all I'm saying. You're going to be like that. Be like that 100. Don't be like, oh, I'm not a Sohan apologist. And no, I really don't care. I'm not going to fuck with the guy. And then you're like, no, I'm still here, Sohan. No, Miss Way. Don't be like that because I'm going to call you the fuck out too.
Matt,
Stand on business.
I'm surprised you didn't call me out on my tweet. I know you and Leha know I'm bullshitting. I tweeted out earlier today. My ideal Spurs lineup is Sohan at every position. I wish cloning existed so we could have him solely on the team since he is our savior. Man, that motherfucker is nobody yet. If he improves, he improves. But they make him seem like he's Wemby's savior, like he's gonna lead us to the championship ourselves. I
Yeah.
don't get a lot of people have fan favorites. Cool, you know. I have favorites when it comes to my sports teams. I'm rocking the CD Lamb jersey, but if they were decided to make him walk, you know, let him walk. It is what it is. I'm here for the team, not the player. You know, if we have to kick you out to make the team better, and by all means. But they don't get that, Joe. They get infatuated with these names, and they're like, "Oh, Sohan walked by you in the middle of the street, wouldn't even fucking wave his hand, or you know, he wouldn't even acknowledge you, and you're over here losing
Yeah.
friends and shit over it. It's
It's like
ridiculous."
this, Elias. At the end of the day, what it is that you have the faction of the fan base that always wants to be positive. Oh, look, Jeremy Sohan's in the gym working out. Be happy. I'm like, look, I am happy for the guy, but you're in an empty gym. You're not really doing much, just go ahead and cue up the music. Getting Stronger by Rocky, getting stronger, it's like, cool, man. I'm happy for the kid. It's good that he's working out. Wemby hasn't been doing that, so I'm glad. Look, at the end of the day, I want the team to get better. I want to see him do better. But what's wrong about holding them accountable as well? If Jeremy Sohan's been cooking in the gym this whole summer, right? And then he comes out and you have the same result again, what good did posting those videos do you?
It looks
It's like,
cool.
I don't want to hear this crap about, oh, we hoop and you watch, and then you can't even make a play in. Nah, bro, no mamas. It's either playoffs or bust. I don't want to hear, well, at least they got to the play in, even though they didn't get past the play in. No, you as Spurs fans should want a better product out there. It's either playoffs or bust. With all the acquisitions that the Spurs have got as far as Fox, then they finally addressed the issue with center. And let's be honest, man, the Spurs like their goofy ass white guys right at center. No lies detected there, right? You can go back and look at the tape. You have Will Perdue, Roscoe Nesterovich, the list goes on and on, but it's all good. You need somebody to back up Wemby, you got a center now. Great. But you still haven't addressed the shooting. As far as your 3-point shooting, there's nobody that can knock down a consistent three. Okay, I can see they're getting better on defense. That's great. You can see the team is consistently getting better, but with everybody that you've had last season that we didn't really get to see much of as far as Wemby and Fox, you would think bringing it back and adding Harper, adding Carter, you have a second year in Castle, Vassell there, Sohan, coming off the bench maybe in that second unit. I mean, this is a more well-balanced team. You would think that they would be able to get to the playoffs at least. So that's why I'm like, the battle cry is playoffs or bust. Don't be fooled or enamored with, oh, just the play in. No. With the team is currently constructed, you want them to go ahead and get to the playoffs. And there's nothing wrong with wanting the team to get better. If you're very vocal about that, oh, you're looked upon as you're a hater. You hate the team. You hate
You're a
everything they
clown.
do.
You're a clown.
No,
You're
man.
corny.
I don't have my Spurs goggles on. I'm not being a simp out there. Oh, hey, at least we got the new edition, city edition jerseys. Hey, we got that, the new Fiesta colors. Who gives a shit? If they're still losing, wear those colors. Is it going to help the team get better? No.
No, man, and that's my whole gripe about it too. Like they're excited. They're being rewarded with a new stadium. You know, good. We brought back the Fiesta colors. I'm colorblind. I don't give a fuck what they're wearing out there if I'm being honest. But it's like you said, the play-in was the mission last season, right? I'm telling you it's playoff or bust as well. Not only for the record, but because you and I have a side bet. You guys aren't gonna see me on Plead the Sith in Fiesta paint. I'm gonna look so fucking
Bro,
ridiculous.
you
Look,
just
y'all are
cursed yourself. You
no,
cursed
y'all are,
yourself. You're going to guaranteed victory that they're going to go to the playoffs.
I'm doubling down on it, Joe.
No,
I
man,
believe in the
bro.
team. I believe had those injuries not happened
I'm
last
glad we
season.
got this on record right now. I'm glad we got this on record. It's going to look real good next to you, put with your face painted all up in Fiesta colors.
Man, I stand by my team regardless. I'm tired of the losing, but we are getting better. Our record improved from the season prior. Progress is progress. Whether you like it or not, we're moving on up. We're not like the Jeffersons yet. We're like the family that lives right below them. We're not in the promised land yet. So we have JC from Special Leaf in here, or Olia. Shout out to the rebrand.
Yeah.
He said solid point. Amount of cards of a player a collector has does not equate to blind support. And I agree. I just got my order in of wrestling cards. I know it's not the same. Got a lot of Liv Morgans. Doesn't mean that's my champion. Doesn't mean she'll ever be my champion. They're just nice to look at.
What does Leja call her? Mid?
Mid Morgan. Man, he calls everyone mid. I'm starting to think Chris needs to start wearing his glasses more than just when he's
Oh
driving, bro.
my
Mid
God.
Morgan, Sydney Sweeney's trash, J Lo's Faya. I don't even know what this guy, bro. But as long as Leia thinks I'm cool, he could go ahead and shit on whoever. You know, that's my
What's my
homeboy.
girl's name? Stephanie Vaquera. What is her name?
Stephanie Vaquer.
Vaquera.
Beautiful.
Oh, bro, man. She got it
She
going on, man.
she's hotter than the Serrano Julio sauce. If you know, you know. If you're from Texas, you know. That's the best hot sauce in the game. I don't want to hear different. You know, anything that's not man-made.
Yeah. As soon
Leia
as I
said,
hear her name and I see her, she's gonna be coming out tonight. I'm watching, bro. Ya está.
it's not just your glasses, bro. You whip out the binoculars like they do
No,
at,
man.
at the opera.
Watching in 4K.
Watching Joe's like, we need smell-o-vision. You remember that, Emerald
Oh,
Lagasse? We
bro,
need we
man.
need smell-o-vision.
Nah, man, because you know some of these athletes or some of these girls out there in the wrestling world. Nah, bro, I'm good.
Nia Jax smells like
Hey,
week old pancakes.
nah,
That's
that's
what
your
Joe's trying
girl,
to say.
torta, man. That's your torta right there, bro.
Yeah, so JC says, can we expect 55 wins, Joe? Or what are your thoughts?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. What I think the Vegas odd makers are going to say, I can almost guarantee you it's going to be anywhere between 43 to 45 wins.
Come
That's what's
on.
going to happen.
How do you get there? How do you get there? Look at the team that we have now. Like I'm
Injuries,
telling you,
brother. Injuries, my brother. Look at the track record. Who's always injured? Wemby. Who's always injured? Vassell. Who's always injured? Sohan. Come on.
man, that deep whatever it was, those blood clots, that was just bad luck,
It's
bro.
not
It's not
just the
gonna be there
blood clots,
forever.
bro. It's not just the blood clot, bro. Come on. They're gonna rest
So
their players and whatnot. Sohan's gonna pull up lame with the back problem again. Vassell's gonna pull up lame near the end of the season. It happens every year, bro.
Joe just doesn't believe. No, but our training staff has fallen off. Why do you think all these injuries have been happening lately, Joe? You know, we have the Achilles injuries happened like every round of the playoffs. That's just not heard
You
of.
know what it is? It's those cheap ass shoes, bro. They're made out of styrofoam or plastic or whatever. Look, man, I'm just gonna call a spade. At the end of the day, when you look and see the quality of shoe that was they had back in the 90s, 2000s, the motherfuckers would be boots out there by today's standards. But you know what? These guys weren't pulling up lame with these Achilles injuries. I know that, the athlete of today is more conditioned. They can do a lot more than the athletes of yesteryear. But the problem is everybody pulling up lame with these same type of injuries. When are they going to bring back the high tops, man? Stop playing games. Go out there and make something that is of high quality. I mean, you put that, let's say, foam and plastic to a flame. What's going to happen to it, dude? It's going to go up real quick. They need to bring the leather back. Bring something back, man. I mean, even though the shoes were heavier, you weren't getting players with these Achilles injuries as you are now. I'm just saying.
No, and I agree with you 100%. I have a pair of Wemby's and a pair of KD's. Wemby's I paid an arm and a leg for close to $300. The KD's I got them on sale for 140.
What are you
And
paying for? Plastic and foam?
no, man, I wish, bro. The fucking insoles might as well have been hefty paper plates, bro. Like I had to switch them out with some Dr. Scholl's because they were so
No,
uncomfortable.
hombre.
And like you're saying, everything is under the ankle nowadays, and with
Yeah.
the way they treat every game like a slam dunk contest, it just doesn't work out. It's a lot of pressure on their tendons, especially their Achilles. The cutting left and right just doesn't work out with these types of shoes. I wish they'd go back to playing with when everyone had a Converse contract. It was
Yeah.
high
High
tops
tops.
left and right, high tops. Bro, I used to ball in Chuck Taylors back in the day, and by
Those are
ball,
uncomfortable as fuck, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Those shoes are uncomfortable, man.
bro, when I say I used to ball in Chuck Taylors, I meant my stat line was about 2, 3, and 1. It was a one shot, 2 rolled ankles, and one asthma
No,
attack.
hombre. No, hombre. You had the inhaler on standby in your pocket.
Yeah, I'd be like, I'm gonna go re-up on the water, and he's like, "Hey, did y'all hear that?"
You'd probably let them foul you on purpose. Be like, "Hey, hold on, man. I'm gonna inbound the ball." Taking a hit.
Damn, why you gotta do me like that, Joe? I played quarterback. Every time we played street ball, I was quarterback too, because I was
No,
not
that was
running.
street ball. No mames, wait, come on.
Ya sabes. It was quarterback of street ball, and it was 10 Mississippis because I knew they wouldn't rush my ass. You know.
You were in the pocket, or you gonna run? You're gonna roll out,
Oh fuck no, bro! Catch me in the pocket like Roger Staubach or Ben
or
Roethlisberger. You weren't
Dakota?
gonna. Or
Dakota Rain Prescott?
Oh, don't do him like that. He had a broken
Bro,
foot.
that motherfucker can't even run 10 yards without pulling the meat off the bone, bro. He's done. He's got to stay in
Okay,
the pocket.
I'll give you that. That was ridiculous. How are you gonna run the first time this season and your whole fucking hammy just rip off? I mean, I'm sure I could have gotten at least 5 yards and you know rocked it out.
I'm sure Mike could have gotten at least 5 or 10 yards, man, without pulling the meat off the bone. I don't know about that, but
Well,
maybe.
no doubt, bro. Because Carnitas, he's sneaky athletic, bro. He's sneaky athletic. He's called out at least 4 or 5 of us from the chat. And I like it when he throws in our body weight too. He's like, a lot of y'all make fun of me because I'm fat, but I've seen y'all too. Well,
You
then
know
call
what?
us out by name, dog.
Once the foot race going to happen with Leha, I'm still waiting for that to happen. I got my money on Leha, man.
Bad. You know, Chris is he's gonna overlap him.
I
It's
tried to
gonna
tell Mike.
it's gonna be that driveway video all over again. You remember that after he was ref
Oh, yeah.
like 4 games.
I remember that.
He was walking all rosado. But so JC says 52 win was minimum on playoffs this past year. If Vegas says 43, 45, no playoffs, I tend to think we will make them, but I'm not. But I'm a noted optimist.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna make the playoffs, Joe. If it's 52 wins, I think we're gonna peak off at 55. I know that's me pushing it. Barring injury, I think we'll get there rather not easily since the West is stacked, but
Yeah.
may the odds be in our favor. With injuries happening all over the league, we just have to hope we're not the ones that get bitten by the injury bug.
I got your face paint on standby already, bro. I went ahead and I bought it ahead of time because I already know what's about to happen.
No, hombre, way. It's gonna be expired by the time I get it. It's gonna be all
you'd be good.
crumply up and shit.
I may have brought the wrong one, dude. So you might pass out if you put it on. Don't wear it for more than 30 minutes.
I'm gonna look like the Great Avenger, the Toxic Avenger, and be out here looking like
afterwards,
toxic,
bro.
Be glowing in blue light.
Look at this, Henry Cavill saying, "Puro Patrick Mahomes of South Cross." That was you with the street quarterback. Mike said he's hurt. No, bro.
The only thing that's hurt were his feelings, bro, and his friends' feelings. Whoever texted or called him after the show.
The only thing that's gonna be hurt with Mike is his pride. Once he gets smoked by Leha, bro, I'm telling you, it won't even be close.
They're gonna take him out. So we gotta kill these weight jokes. I'm with Sub to Olia after the brew in September. We gotta kill these weight jokes. Now for sure. I mean, JC has a good product over there. Special olive special leaf tea. Olia's the rebrand, and he's been showing us a lot of stuff behind the scenes. And I'm excited to see what products he puts out.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Leha said, "I got my workbook boots ready for the race."
Yeah, stop, bro. I'm telling you.
We just need a venue. We got to do it down your street, Joe, or maybe use your driveway.
I got a controlled environment for Mike. Remember, I told you I already scouted this one little park that's just not even far away from where I live, bro. Just down the highway. Perfect spot. It has shade and everything. They have an outdoor court. They have a court that has a big old roof over it and everything. There ain't no excuses, man. No excuses. Y'all are on the same turf. You're in a let's say a neutral playing ground where neither one has knowledge. There you go. What are you waiting for? We'll go ahead and have it like what do you call that? The Fast and the Furious. Well, we'll have a little camera at the end in case it's a photo finish. But if it's a photo finish, Mike, he just might win because the panza might just be enough to stick over the finish line before Leia gets over, man.
That's gonna be like a 2-on-1 race, Joe. Come on, that's not fair.
Watch Mike hit the nitrous, at the very end.
This fool's gonna crack a rat and shoot himself forward.
Either that or he's gonna hurt himself. He's gonna like rip every muscle in his abdomen, or he's gonna pull his Achilles or something, fall down on the ground.
I mean, you put it out to the world, so it just might happen.
I told him not to do it, dude. I said, bro, we're too old to be running like that anymore, man. You ain't got it, bro. Just let it go. Just let Leha have his time in the to shine, and just say, Leha, you're gonna beat me. Be a man and just say Leha will win. Se acabó.
Man, but egos go a long way. Joe, I have a question in regards to egos, bro.
Yeah.
I know you and I deal with a bunch of assholes throughout the day, even in the chats or just going down Twitter, right? See a lot of people judging others for their opinions or just
Yeah.
you know what time of the day it is when they start getting mouthy, you know? Once the drinks start going down, nothing's being held back. What are your thoughts on these social media badasses, right? You know, self-proclaim like we are the ones, we're the super fans, you're a nobody. What are your thoughts on those type of personalities? And what are your
Nobody
thoughts
cares.
and
Nobody
what are
cares.
and what are your thoughts on those social media reporters like man, it's dusty in here, you know, that claim to
The
be
dust up. The dust up.
the dust up, you know, if you know, you know. What are your thoughts about those fake ass reporters,
Ah,
bro? That they
nobody cares at the end of the day. Real talk, nobody cares. Nobody cares about how many people you have following you on social media, how many people subscribe to your channel. Nobody cares about any of that shit. And neither should you. The thing that you should care about is just going out there and just, having it as a platform to go ahead and just put some thoughts together. That's about it. At the end of the day, if you're clout chasing, if you're looking for subscribers, I want to be this guy. I want to be this guy. You care more about what other people think of you. You have the little man complex. That means you care more about what other people think than what your own family thinks of you. At the end of the day, you don't get time back with your family. That should be your priority. You should care less about what other people think, or, oh, I'm a bona fide reporter, I have sources. No, you don't. None of these guys have sources. None of them have sources because they don't have the pockets that the Four Letter Network has. If your name's not Shams, you ain't got no sources, man, because you have nobody coming to you with insider information and you're paying them six figures for that information. I don't want to hear it. It's just nothing but nonsense. I don't understand the stigma with everybody wanting to be the best. Oh, I want to be the best Spurs reporter. Who cares? Nobody gives a damn at the end of the day. You want to be the first to report shit. Who cares? There's better things to think about than
exactly.
being first, being right. And then the stupid thing nowadays is, let's go ahead and leave our comments that we put out there open-ended. So that way we're never wrong. That's a pussy way out. You know what? Take a stance, and it's okay to be wrong. But go ahead and actually stand on something, believe in something, and say, hey, I believe this is going to happen. I just have a feeling. Okay, cool. I respect that. Then to say, my sources say this, and then when you get called out for being wrong, oh, no, I didn't really say this is what I said. I left it open-ended. No, that's stupid, man.
Man, you see that happening a lot, especially over, you know, the draft talk and whatnot, or trade talks. Fucking ridiculous. I even had someone reach out to me privately and said, "Hey, your friends are trashing me. They keep using that Eric Zhang account."
Zang
Yeah,
bang.
that Zhang Bang. If you know, you guys know what I'm talking about. It says, you know, homeboy messaged me. I'm not gonna put his name out there because I might invite him on. He's all like, "Hey, tell your homies to lay off a little bit because it's embarrassing that I'm trying to become a insider and they're using that fake account to outdo my stuff, or they're biting off of my shit." Bro, no one's biting off of your shit. The stuff you're getting is stuff that's already out there. You keep it so vague. You know, there's only so much we can speak on. It's going to sound repetitive. It's just like podcasting, Joe. There's only so many topics we can talk about
Yeah.
without people thinking, oh, look, they're copying me. Or look, they're stealing my segment. They're stealing my music. Man, no one wants to do shit. You've seen it happen like on the big podcasts too, you know? Or, for example, I'll give you an example. So I listened to this podcast called Scared to Death with Dan Cummins. He for April Fools last year, he created this crime story, right? About this murderer called something Bird. I forget the first name. Well, a week later, a smaller podcast releases their own episode on that Bird fella, and Dan comes out and tells him, "Bro, he doesn't exist. I have all the rough draft, all the notes in my journals where I created him. I created his persona.
Yeah.
He never happened, but you guys are claiming him like your own." That's that's exactly what these fake ass reporters on social media are doing, Joe. They're
Yeah.
just biting, creating their own scenarios, and
The sad part is that I know a lot of these guys out there that are claiming to be like, oh, we're the gatekeepers. You have to come to us for real Spurs insider news or real Spurs news. Y'all are reporting the same thing. All you're doing is getting the vomit, going up, you're eating the vomit and then regurgitating it back, but spinning it a different way. It's the same shit. It doesn't matter. It's the same thing that the other guy has said. You are no different than everybody else out there. And everybody nowadays is wanting to get in the arena of, oh, I want to be a Spurs insider. I want people to come to me for Spurs news. Nobody cares, bro. Nobody cares. I can tell you that for a fact. Everybody's getting their news, their Spurs news from other sources. They could give a shit. The only thing that I think is dumb is that it's a clout chasing that is done by these guys on Spurs Twitter. And I know a lot of them. I know a lot of these guys. I'm just like, why? You've been doing this for so many years. You care, like, again, so much about what other people think about your opinion. And the end of the day, it's meaningless. Absolutely meaningless. You should just put your opinion out there. How about you do that? And instead of regurgitating what everybody else is saying, form an opinion. Maybe it's different from everybody else, but you know what? That's what's going to separate you from the pack. That'll go ahead and get you a following versus I want to be the first to report the Spurs are dropping their Fiesta colored jersey. Who cares? Who cares?
Yeah, bro. Everyone has sources when it comes to the little things. It's like, oh, Jeremy Sohan's gonna be giving out juice over here. I know which juice he's giving out first, Joe. Or,
Who cares?
I know how many limes they stocked up for the event. Man, who gives a fuck about any of this? Let us know
Nobody
the real
cares.
thing.
Yeah.
Let us know when LeBron James is getting traded over. Let us know when the Spurs actually make a real move for Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Bro, man, real talk, man. I don't know how these people, like, it's the same people I see all the time all over social media. They go ahead and say, oh, look, Mamu was at an event, or not anymore, but in the past when he was, Sohan's at this place. He's going to be signing autographs, at Southtown. And it's always the same people that are out there. I'm like, y'all motherfuckers work? Because some of us have real day jobs, like they're like, oh, I took off from work. I'm like, y'all are always taking off from work to go and get something signed by a Spurs player. I'm just like, bro, how do you all earn money at the end of the day? Like, what do you all do for a living? I want that job. I'm over here having to do the show with Mike, because I like doing that. But then at the end of the day, when I'm done with the show, I'm hopping immediately into my 9 to 5, that I got to go ahead and earn my hard money to go ahead and pay my bills. It's like some of us actually have to work. It's a head scratcher. Like, how do these guys do it, man? That's my question. How are they there consistently at all these events? Like, y'all don't work?
Y'all don't work, man. A lot of them still live in the basement or the attics of their mama's
They live with their
house,
mama,
bro.
no doubt, dude. A lot of these people still live with their mama, man. I'm going to call a spade and call them out.
Hey, one of our friends calls them the Spurs versions,
Ah, bro, no lies detected. They probably ain't got a girlfriend, man.
Man, if that got out, they'd cancel our boy. And speaking of cancel, bro, what are your thoughts on cancel culture? I mean, Mike didn't really try to cancel Leija. Let's not, we play around with it a lot. It was kind of overdrawn, it was a shitty situation. But what are your thoughts on actual cancel culture, Joe? We've seen a lot of our favorite or our personal friends get booted off of X due to their own opinion. And it's not always sports related. I could come on here and say I hate a series or I hate a singer, and their fucking clique is gonna try and cancel you. It happened to me with wrestling. I called Rhea Ripley Rhea Hogan. Man, I got cooked. They're like, how could you say that? You don't even know wrestling. I'm like, it's fake. Just like your personality on social media, it's fake. Relax.
Well, it's like this, at the end of the day, going back and forth with people on X doesn't really get you anywhere. But you know what? I do have a platform. So if I want to talk and I want to cook, I'm going to use my platform to do that. Because if you interact with people on the X, you interact with people on social media, and they're going to go ahead and send their cronies out at you. It's a gang mentality now. You have to follow me because I'm the Spurs god. Because I say I don't agree with this guy. You all go after him because you're my followers. That's stupid. And these guys are old as shit already, dude. Okay, if you were like in your 20s, okay, I can see you acting like a child. But a lot of these motherfuckers are already at 30 years old, 30 plus years old, and you're still acting like they're kids, man. Grow the fuck up, man. This cancel culture nonsense is stupid. It's dumb. It's the mentality of the simple-minded person, a simp. They're going to follow what other people say. You're not last time I checked, you're an adult. You can't form your own opinion about things. That's stupid. Like, go ahead and form your own opinion, and it's okay. It's like I said, it's okay if you're not always right, but at least have the balls to go out there and stand on business and say, I believe this, or they're going to call you out because you spoke your mind and you said something. That's stupid, man. Like, when did we become so fucking soft that you can't even use a social media platform to voice your own opinion? That's stupid. That's what social media was built on, for people to use the platform to speak. And now you get chastised for it. That's stupid. And now it's the simp mentality. That's what that is. It's a simp world. That's what it is now.
It's the modern day Simpsons, and we're not talking about the yellow
Yeah.
cartoon, bro. Everyone has their own fucking. Everyone has an opinion on something. You're just not allowed to do it for some fucking reason. You put it out there, and everyone, you start losing followers left and right because they create chats to cancel you.
If you lose
It's
people, you lose
fucking
people.
stupid.
But you know what? At least you went ahead and said what you felt you had to say. You know, at least be man enough to come out and form an opinion and stand on it. Don't say what everybody else wants you to say. Say what you want to say and stand on business.
And that's something I try to preach. I tell everyone. I mean, we all know our group USOA. Shout out to Sucios, Bear Swiss, Leja Chris. I mean Leja and Chris. That's his first name. Bear Swiss, Leja Castro.
Aye.
You know, everyone thinks, if we start beefing with someone, then it's a whole mob mentality. It's not how that works. We're all individuals. We just represent one group, and it's not a social media thing. So we've all became friends out of social media. I just need you guys to understand, if you have a problem with a certain individual in our group, doesn't necessarily mean we're all beefing with you. So, stop shading all of us when I'm friendly to everyone. I don't give a fuck what y'all. If you didn't do anything to me personally, then we could be friends.
Hey, we
But
talk a lot of shit in our private chat about each other, and we go at each other from time to time. It's funny. It's fun.
exactly.
It's just guys just being guys, just hazing each other, being stupid. That's what it is.
Yeah, but exactly, like that's how it is. It's just fun to us. It's never no ill will. Like I said, I'm still gonna have Mike on here, even though, the chat wants me to eat him alive when he's in here. I'm gonna give him his chance to speak or whatever the fuck sounds he makes. You know, I'm gonna give him his time to shine. But listen to this motherfucker. He's like, y'all are going at each other's dicks. Y'all goofy, stupid ass dude.
Pinche Leja.
In
Is
Chile.
it Sam Salinas? Goes, yo, what up? What's up, Jonathan Perez?
Hey, what's up, boys? Just joined in. Sound like shit is going down. Nah, we just shooting the shit, Sam. We're not trying
We
to.
spitting facts today,
We're
man.
spitting facts, bro. We're not censoring one another. If Joe wants to call anyone out by name, or he just wants to cover a group, by all means do so. I'm telling y'all my side of things.
Yeah, the one thing that I'll never do is come out here and tell people to go ahead and go at a certain person on the X, go after this person, go after that person, because I don't believe in what they say. Yeah, we might cook somebody once in a while because they deserve it, because they're trying to be an insider and they dumb as shit, but that's different. I'm not saying go out there and get them canceled. No, of course not. I might not agree with what they're saying and I can be vocal about it, but am I going to go out there and be like, hey, go ahead and cancel them because I have spoken? That's stupid. Again, that's dumb. That's a dumb mentality. We all adults here. Form your own opinion. It's again,
Exactly.
it's like a cult.
Exactly.
It's almost like cult factions now, right? You have your cult leaders of these stupid people that people idolize on social media, and they say, go and do this, and the simps listen. Stupid.
It's dumb, bro. It's like you basically have to be an army of one once you're out there. Once everyone turns on you, it's every man for themselves for the most part. But enough of the negative shit, Joe. Let's switch it up. How long have you been living there in San Antonio?
Shit, I've
How
been
long?
here most of my life. I'm both from San Antonio and from Cali. When I was a kid, I used to spend a lot of summers over in California. Again, my uncle was a Marine, so I was always in Oceanside. I was in Las Vegas, Escondido, San Diego. I grew up in those areas, and I love them, dude. I love San Diego, where it's Fernandez is at, my boy. Shout out to him, and congratulations
Shout out,
again to
Rick.
his son Ethan, man. He's done some great things over there as a father. To pave the way for his son, to go ahead and be able to have those opportunities. He's put in a lot of time and effort in his boy, and commendable, man. So congratulations to Rick. But he lives out
That
there in San Diego, man. So Oceanside's one of my favorites.
Yeah, man. just real quick, I want to give, like you said, I want to congratulate him as well. Congratulations to Ethan. That's Fernandez's son. One hell of a ball player. I just heard he just got an offer from, what is
From
it, Joe?
Boston.
Boston, right?
Yeah.
Man, he's gonna do great things out there, bro. He's one hell of a baller. So shout out to Fernandez. Shout out to his son.
His
And
son, man.
yeah, I had no idea you were from Cali, Joe. I thought you were strictly from San Antonio.
No, I'm
Unlike
San
me.
Antonio. I'm San Antonio, born and raised, but I've had family, and I would spend summers of going to Cali. We lived out in Cali for a little bit of time too, when I was very young. And I used to love just being out there in Cali, dude. I still remember the beach. I still remember being able to open the big old picture window we had at the house where I used to live in when I was a kid, and I'd have a great view of the mountains. So it was things like that I really remember, my time over in Cali. I love San Anto. I'm always going to be San Anto's my home, but I got love for Cali too.
So let's say, just real quick, give us some of your favorite destinations in San Antonio. What are your favorite like hobby spots? Because when I'm in town, I stick to Ingram. I just stick to
Ay,
Ingram,
güey.
North Star, and Pluckers. Basically, bro. I never go to San Antonio with an agenda, and you could catch me in any of those four spots.
No,
Uh,
places that I like to hang out. I'm like I said. I spend a lot of time with my nieces, and because I have a ton of nieces. One of my nephews, he lives in Maryland, so I get to see him every so often. He's going to college. Shout out to you, Thomas. And he's
Shout out
crazy,
Thomas.
dude. He's of drinking age, so when he comes to town, we have a lot of fun together. But most of the time, I'm here with my nieces, and we'll go and hang out. They got me going to some frutarias. I like hanging out at the frutarias with them. They're Latinas, so they like Mexican food. So we're always sitting up Mexican restaurants around town, and another place that we like going primarily here is like some of these little food truck places, man. Like low key, they're really good down on Marbach, man. If you know, you want to go ahead and get some taquitos on the weekend, you know where to go. If you're in Marbach, if you've been in, you know, uh, let's say a Marbach staple for so long as I have, Puro Exit 7, there's a lot of places up and down the Marbach area that you can get good eats at, and they're coming from food trucks, man. So it's like, damn, they're doing it right. Because you go to these other places like the big box stores and whatnot, it's not the same vibe, man. The food trucks have a different flavor, man. So we like keeping it puro, keeping it local, um, uh, things that I like doing sometimes is just hanging out with the family, dude. I really like just barbecuing, drinking beers, hanging out with my boys. I'll hang out at the Hangar Bar and Grill over here on Petrenko sometimes. I'll go to the Stout House, I go to Big Hops, other little places like that. Mad Pecker, dude. Mad Pecker reopened again. So shout out to Jason and what they're doing out there. We got to round up the troops and go up there
for sure.
and have a happy hour and say congratulations to Jason for reopening his business, dude. That's a big accomplishment. Really proud of that brother out there doing his thing, man.
Yeah, man, that's love, bro. Shout out to Jason. We have Jonathan Pettis in the chat, Joe, asking you, what's your favorite type of taco? I'll tell y'all mine, but y'all are gonna call me a pervert. So let's
Pervert.
you know what I'm gonna say.
I like the tacos at Pastor. They're always good, dude. The little street tacos at Pastor.
Straight
Shit
off the
slams,
tronco.
man.
Straight off the tronco.
Shit slams, bro.
Bro, I'll tell you a story about that. So we went to my boy Swiss is in here. He knows about it. We went to Al Pastor there in Piedras Negras, bro. They have the troncos outside with the pineapple and everything. One of my first dates, I went with my wife. I ate a couple tacos. So I went to give her a kiss or whatever. Bro, she's like deathly allergic to pineapple. I didn't know. So tell me why we're crossing the bridge back and she has lips like fucking Kylie Jenner and she's all itchy all over. Hey, but she got me back, bro, because we stopped in Eagle Pass at this snow cone shop. I got me a raspa, and I'm allergic to bees. I got stung in my arm. I fucking was trying to control my breath, trying not to go into, like...
anaphylactic shock.
Anaphylactic shock. Didn't have my EpiPen. And she's like, are you good? I was like, yeah, I'm good. The whole time I have a fucking arm like Hellboy. I'm like, if I die, I'm going to die without even getting the smash. It was fucking crazy.
Hey, so what's been going on over here with the Spurs Summer League, dude? I saw that they were playing, and the final is already in. So no surprise, Spurs lost to the Heat in their first Summer Classic game in the Summer League, 82-69. And I'm gonna look at the stats real quick. I want to see what happened with like Carter Bryant. It's his first game out there. He played 21 minutes and he had 7 points. Not too bad, man. But then you got some of these other lesser known players that are kind of like balling out. You know, you had Jameer Nelson Jr. had 13 points, and then you had David Jones Garcia, a Mexicano, bro. He had 18 points. And good for him.
Es primo, bro.
Yeah, it's primo, dude. So good for him, dude. You know, this is the thing that I watched the Spurs Summer League for. It's not so much that, oh, I think the team's going to win every single game. You're looking to see which of these players might be vying for a roster spot. You know, you want to see some of these guys really shell out, have good performances, because this is big for them and their families, right? Like if they can go ahead and get a spot over with the, you know, the Austin Spurs, I mean, this is good for them, you know, because maybe that at some point in time they might cross over and get some playing time here with the Spurs, and you'll be like, hey man, I remember watching that dude in Summer League. You know, I've been following this dude and look at where he came from, you know, from the Summer League to the Austin Spurs and then finally making the roster. It's good to see little stories like that, you know, and that's
Yeah.
why I watch the Summer League.
And it's like we shit a lot on like overseas play, right? Like the Shanghai Sharks and all
Yeah.
that. But if you could even get a contract over there, Joe, like they're set. They're not making this type of money beforehand. Look at Jabari Parker. He was once I think he was the #1 draft pick at one point. He's not even in the league anymore, but he's playing internationally and he's doing great over there. He has his family up and then with him. But we had this fucked up reporter asked him. He says, "If you're this good here, why aren't you in the NBA?" Tell me why this dude started crying, bro. I'm like, Jabari, you gotta you gotta keep your head up, man. You're still getting paid. You don't have to be in the NBA to be, you know, a somebody. You could be a somebody in a nobody league. Hell, Wembenyama made his name playing in the French league, you know.
The Euro League. Yeah, look at that. Jonathan Perez. He was saying that Garcia fool was hooping. No lies detected, bro. I mean, he played 21 minutes, had 18 points. You know, I'm like, that's not a bad ratio right there.
Man, but you know what the Spurs like to do with those Mexicanos, just like Juan Nunez, they shipped his ass out of here. Yeah, you're on the team, just we're not gonna claim you.
Hey, now that's a jersey I would buy. Like if this brother made it on the squad, why not get a player that has my own last name, right? Garcia. Now that's something I can get behind, you know?
Yeah, bro, that'd be dope as hell.
No, but then Jeff will probably be like, "Oh, you look up to me that much that you had to get my name put on the back of a jersey." I'd be like, "No, mom, it's Jeff."
He's gonna find a way to cook regardless, bro. We already know how Jeff is. But yeah, man. Yeah, man. I mean, we didn't really expect nothing but dubs from this summer league, right? I couldn't name half the players on the team. It was good to see. I'm just glad basketball's back. I mean, I could always watch WNBA. I just never know when they're on. Like, I'm not trying to hate on it. I just
Bro.
don't have the
Don't,
schedule.
now you
or
sound like
anything.
Mike. Now you sound like Mike.
Man, I love watching the women play, but I think I was cracking up. It's not fun. It's not too funny, guys. Maybe it is me being sexist, right? But
Hey, this
there
is
was
a go ahead.
what's up?
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I said so. The headline was Skylar Diggins calls game, right? And I was like, oh shit, you know, it's like NBA. She hit a fucking 3-pointer from half court. Bro, tell me why she slips a screen and she makes the easiest fucking layup ever. I'm like, man, this is a highlight in that league. No wonder everyone shits on it. But shout out to Skylar Diggins though.
I'm gonna put you in the hot seat. I'm gonna ask you a question because I just saw something you just retweeted here.
What's
Because
up?
I keep an eye on the X, right? I'm gonna go ahead and retweet this. I'm gonna say something about it, but I got to form my thoughts first. And
Let's
it
hear it.
says, "What's a movie everyone else loves but you hate?" Titanic. No, bro.
Worst fucking movie of all. Like, there's no point. So let me get this straight. So I get Leonardo
Damn.
DiCaprio. He's decent looking, right? I don't play for that team, but he's decent looking. This girl's on a fucking ship with billionaires and millionaires,
Bro.
but with her millionaire, what is he?
Fiance or something, bro, man.
Fiance. And you got so horny because this guy said he could draw you once, and you decided to throw it all away. You're walking around with a multi-million-dollar necklace that you stole when you decided you didn't want to be with your fiance. And at the end of the day, you didn't even care enough for this little fucking roach to keep him alive. Talking about there was no room on the
On that
door.
big ass door.
On that
No,
big ass
bro.
man, that boy weighs about 150 soaking wet. Get his ass on the door, Rose. This is a movie glorifying a hoe the iceberg wasn't the villain in this movie. It was fucking Rose, and I'm gonna stand by it because she even sucks as an old lady, Joe. How are you gonna pop out of this bitch, 96, 92, 93 years old, and you're gonna decide to chuck your jewelry over? You're telling me you didn't have no grandchildren, no family you could leave that jewel with? This fucking horrible over all around, man.
She couldn't give the necklace to the brother that like put her on the ship and took her all the way out there. Come
Exa-
on, man.
exactly, bro. Do you have a movie that everyone loves that you just can't stand?
I'm trying to think. What is one that I just don't like that a lot of people like? Probably Mean Girls, dude. I don't like that damn movie. I don't like watching
Why?
none of that crap. I just don't get off to it, dude. I don't like it. And the sad thing is I have nothing but nieces, and I have a daughter, right, that loves that movie. I don't care for it, dude. Not at all. I know Mike likes to quote it, and well,
Oh,
I
me
have a
too.
daughter, and he watches it. I'm like, all right, bro, but I don't really give a damn about that. I don't care for it, man. I
Shit,
don't
I
care for Titanic either, bro. I'm gonna be honest. Those are 3 hours of your life you ain't gonna get back.
it's just like Oppenheimer. I'm not trying to copy Mike or his takes, bro, but I couldn't get into it.
I'm not gonna try to copy Mike, but you sound just like him, culero.
No, hombre, güey, no me estás poniendo el pinche sal. Unlike Mike, I'm not too ethnic, bro. I'll talk Spanish a
But at
bit.
least you're not wearing your Coco lemon or whatever, that he wears, the Lululemons.
Hey, it's because I can't afford it, way.
Tommy Bahama.
I gotta get more money. It's puro Walmart up in this bitch and Eagle Pass. They have like those tienditas like in the middle of Laredo, and I
Yeah.
tell everyone, bro, you could get all your knockoffs there. Even got a pair of Oakleys that people think are real that I got from down there for a pretty penny. But
You know
no,
what?
mom is like
Mike would say, you know what movie everybody loves, but he hates Star Wars.
everyone loves Star Wars. He's a
No,
fucking
Mike
dork.
hates it, dude. He hates it. He shits on it every time he gets a chance.
He shits on it because he's built like Jabba the Hutt, that yellow-eyed motherfucker, you know.
No mama's way.
but
Now you know what you just gave fuel to Sith. I know I'm gonna see that meme up here probably right after the show. I
oh,
know
I
Swiss is in here, dude. He's getting on it right now.
oh yeah, Swiss is gonna make him Jabba. He's gonna call him Mikey the Gut, you know.
Yeah, I already know, bro. You already gave Swiss fuel.
So what are your plans for the rest of the day, Joe? I know you don't have much time. So
Yeah, I'm probably just gonna hang out with the family here. I'm probably gonna go and to maybe a little family barbecue after this and just hang out, have some beers, maybe watch some boxing or MMA. That's what I like doing on Saturdays, and just having some quality family time.
oh, that's what's up. Yeah. So in my hometown, Crystal City, Texas, they're actually having their Fourth of July display today. I'm
Aye.
like, I'm like, y'all motherfuckers are a day off, but it is what it is. My kid's been waiting to see fireworks, which I have another story I'm not gonna go into because it pissed me off. Last night we couldn't find parking. We're driving around. We end up right next to where the firework display is. And tell me why my kid's saying, I don't like the whistling. I don't like the colors. Dad, Bluey and Bingo don't like this. Can you roll up my window? I'm like, dude, we just spent an hour looking for parking so you could watch the fireworks.
She's not
And you're
having it.
and she wasn't having it. She's like, can we go home? She said, I'm hungry. I was like,
You know what the best thing is to do, man, for the kids, bro? Quite honestly,
leave them at
just
home.
go.
No,
No,
I'm
no,
kidding.
that too. But if she wants fireworks, just go get her a little bag for the kids. It's like maybe $20 or so. It has a little bit of everything in there for her, and just be like, I thought, dude, there you go. You can never go wrong with that. You never miss that, and just get her some good old fashioned sparklers. Done.
Oh yeah, well, she loves her some sparklers. Matt
Yeah.
Gomez, he has a great podcast with us,
Oh yeah,
SAFC.
USA versus Mexico.
Yeah, it's him and Harry that they're two of the hosts for that pod, right? I'm gonna have
That's
Matt.
starting right now. Actually, USA and Mexico. The coverage starts on Fox at 6 o'clock. So in 6 minutes.
So in 6 minutes, so I'll make sure we're out of the room by then because I know Matt and Harry. That's all they focus on, and much love to them. I'm gonna have them on the show too. Jonathan Perez, yo Sith, what's your live schedule like? Bro, I'm usually live on Tuesdays, but Joe's a busy man. We had to let him pick out his own schedule date, and it just happened to be today. So, Joe, I'm very appreciative for you taking the time to come out and be on my show.
Yeah.
You've really been a big help throughout this whole journey. You gave me my first. If for all y'all I didn't know, when we're doing the wrestling spaces, he's actually the one that connected Brandon Medina and I. That's Brandon Big Poppy Medina on X. And he's like, hey, I think you two would flow well together. y'all both like wrestling. Y'all are both a bunch of knuckleheads. So I think the vibe is there, and I'll forever have that friendship with and brotherhood with Brandon
Brandon.
because of Joe. Um, and just yeah, bro, you've given me a lot of opportunities. You gave me my first home over at Alamo City Podcast
Yeah.
Network, and even though I'm in Sweep the League, you show nothing but love, promoting and whatnot, and you were very appreciative. And y'all don't know my first headsets, my first cameras, my mics, all that were produced by Joe, even after I went on my own way.
Yeah.
So Joe can't ever repay you for that, bro.
Yeah, man.
You're real as fuck, and I'm always gonna have your back in everything you do.
Yeah,
Mike, not so
likewise.
much. I'm just kidding.
You're like, fuck that motherfucker.
Fuck that motherfucker, but I won't let them mess with him.
Hey, but I like your new logo, dude. It is nice, dude. Good
Hey,
job there.
oh, thank you, bro. You sent me the right direction, and I just like, what can I think of? So let me just break it down to everyone. So it's a black sheep because growing up, I felt self alienated. Probably
Yeah.
wasn't. I was pretty dramatic. I'll be honest. So I've always been the outsider of my family. Then he's rocking a lucha mask because wrestling's my whole world, and he's rocking a mullet, a mohawk, because why not? It's cool as shit. I'm a rock star in the inside. So that's where that logo came from. That's where that thought process came from. But yeah, Joe, thank you for being on. If there's any final words, where can they find you?
Yeah, they
You
can
wanna
find me at Area 210 at Area 210 Podcast on the X. They can also find our YouTube channel if they go ahead and just look us up at Alamo City Podcast Network. We're growing there, as you all can see. When you join the show Monday through Friday, we go from 10 to about 11:30. Me and Mikey Menace, and while we might not always agree, it's always entertaining because me and him will go back and forth, or sometimes the chat will just cook him, and it's fun to watch.
Yeah, man, it's one hell of a show, and I'm a regular in the chat when I'm able to. When I'm able to be on there, I'm on there. But yeah, so y'all make sure y'all follow him, like and subscribe to the Alamo City Podcast Network over on YouTube. Like and subscribe to Sweep the League TV on YouTube. Follow me at dartsucio_95. And that's been the show, everyone. Joe, thank you again. Thank you for everything. And Mikey, you're up next. If you want to be in here, you're up next. I'll let you cook Leha. I'll let you cook Joe. I'll even back you up a little bit so you don't feel alone. Don't want your ego broken, brother.
No tienes miedo, mijo.
No tienes miedo, way. And if you don't know what that means, translate it, motherfucker.
Ay.
Alrighty, y'all. That's been the show. Shout out to everyone in the chat. Thank you all. Let me see.